I'm Dawn, I'm one of the driving instructors and trainers at NextGen. I've been qualified for 8 years now. I started off as a driving instructor in ADI for the past 5 years and then moved on more recently to becoming a trainer. So the process that I went through for becoming a driving instructor, I did my training here with NextGen. I started off firstly by having to do a DBS check, which then followed on to an application to the DVSA and then has a 3-step process, going by the part 1, which is basically your theory, starting over again, an assessment drive being the part 2 process, and then follows on to then being on the road with a practical session with pupils in the car, so delivering a driving lesson with students and then being examined on that basis for your part 3 to then pass to become qualified as an ADI. What made me want to become a driving instructor? Well, I liked working with people from previous job roles, and I wanted to be able to give somebody an opportunity for life, really. It's a great feeling to see somebody go from a non-driver to a driver, gain independence, and now also as a trainer to give people opportunities for a new career path. My career change then with NextGen Driving Academy allowed me to become a driving instructor, self-employed basis, so I could gain my experience, gain my knowledge whilst training and gaining some reward whilst doing so it took some of the stress away from that. It allowed me then to progress on to become an ADI and then run my own business effectively under the umbrella of the franchise brand of NextGen, which also has an upside too, that we do also have the employed model, which I then moved on to, which can take away all the stress and woes that if running a business is not your thing, that's not a problem. What would I say to someone wanting a career change? Well, this isn't a job that I think everybody standardly thinks about in its entirety. I came from a background that had nothing to do with driving. I used to work in a beauty salon for nearly 15 years. Certain skill sets that could run alongside it. You have to be a good communicator, you're a people person, a good listener, but you also need to have motivation and actual joy and love for the job and passion. So if you're not able to find out information, you need to be able to go out and get it. As a community of driving instructors within NextGen, we have a great training team. We have a good support system in-house with our colleagues. However, it is still a sole role, so you need to have that motivation to be able to go out there and get the information you need when you need it. So the most nerve-wracking part of this process, or my experience through becoming an ADI and driving instructor, was actually the exam part. I've never been very good at exams and I've always been more of a practical person. So although I found the theory difficult in having to sit and go through books, etc., there's some great resources. They use Theory Test Pro, so that with as well the trainers that we worked with experience as well. Test specific for the part 2 and part 3, having someone sit in the back seat and observe and analyse and watch you was really quite daunting, because it's not as sort of having someone really hang over you. From the flip side of that, now being a trainer myself and reflecting, remembering, resonating back to when I was doing that process, I can see it from that perspective how it can feel, and also see it in my students and clients that want to come through as PDIs to become ADIs. It is quite nerve-wracking, but it's finding techniques and tools to be able to combat that, and hopefully we've got that right because we can work with each individual for their needs. What advice would I give someone? Would have to be, do your homework, and I don't mean it in a literal sense, but really look into what this job is actually about, and we can help you, enlighten you on that. You've got to put the work in, you've got to put the effort in, you've got to do the background work. You've got to be self-motivated, you've got to want it, and I think it's very different to being able to tell someone how to drive, but there's more to it than that. It's actually wanting to help people to grow in themselves. So a change of career is a big deal. You will feel scared, you will feel worried, you'll probably think about all the reasons why not to do something. Often it's outweighing those scares and those fears. Just come and have a chat with us, ask us all the things you want to know. We'll be more than happy to answer your questions and queries. Is the time ever the right time? It depends on the individual. Myself, I was terrified, but I wouldn't look back now, and it's probably the best thing that I've ever done. So thanks for watching and good luck with your journey to becoming a driving instructor.